And we are live. What is going on, tribe? What's going on? Look, I got one from Men Need to Be Heard. Um, he's talking some good stuff over here. It does seem like women don't really notice the shift in dating right now. It's like they know that there's something different about us, but they're still trying to gaslight us. Like they can't see that we, you know, completely uh, have decided to change where we're doing things and the way we're moving. But with no further ado, I know this dude didn't just start cutting grass as soon as I started this live stream. I know he didn't just start as soon as I started this live stream. Let's get it going, man. Go talk to my neighbor.
As I'm recording this in 2024, it's that the dating scene has changed. The entire dynamic of what used to be is now gone. And if we're being fair, we have to give credit where credit's due and say that it's women
Smash that
who
like
have
button.
largely changed the dating scene, who have made it what it is today. The problem, however, is the women who get that credit, and deservedly so, didn't change it in the way they thought they were changing it. To borrow a phrase, what they thought was going to be a blessing is turning out to be a curse, which is why they're making videos like this one.
A coffee date is low effort.
Ah, yes, the infamous coffee date, the thing men are now offering to women as first dates, the thing that most of today's modern women are absolutely appalled that men have turned to, because as she said, they view it as low effort. You see, they're still stuck in the 1950s and 60s, or perhaps to put it better, what they thought happened in the 1950s and 60s, when men, at least in their minds, took women out on expensive first dates, laid it all out there, did everything they could to impress them. The reality, however, was anything but. Back in my day, when I first started dating, the traditional first date was you would go to the mall, maybe get something at the food cart, and then go see a movie. That was pretty much it. And it probably cost him anywhere from $10 to $15, which I think all of us can agree is a pretty far cry from the hundreds, if not thousands, that today's modern women expect men to spend on them. But see, that doesn't make modern women feel good. And as we all know, it's all about the feels for them, which is why they then go on to say things like this.
It means that the guy likes you enough to buy you a cup of coffee, but he doesn't like you like that. He doesn't like you enough to
Look at these
plan a proper
leftovers.
date.
Oh my, this is just another example of how women try and educate other women
Leftovers.
on what men think and feel, what men's actual intentions are. And as is the case 999,999 times out of 1 million, she gets it dead wrong. Now, to be fair, she is correct on one point. He does like her enough to buy her a cup of coffee. He does like her enough, and this is the key point, ladies, to do a risk assessment, to see if the risk of pursuing a relationship with her is worth the reward. And the reality is, ladies, and this one's really going to set you off, most of you aren't worth the risk. And that's why men are only offering coffee dates now. Because you see, ladies, while you're all about the feels, men are about the logic. And that first date for them is a risk assessment, not a romance novel. He is interested in trying to find out more about her and see if there's a connection. And a cup of coffee does all of that. In fact, more, because it tells him right off the bat if she's a high.
Now, of course, this is for men that are out there dating. If you're in monk mode, obviously this doesn't apply.
Maintenance woman or one worth pursuing. Notice I didn't say high value. I said high
That like
maintenance,
button.
because if she's expecting expensive dates and him to go all out to impress her on the first one, she's making it very clear right up front. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. She couldn't care less about him. It's what she can extract from him, which is further proven by when they say things like this.
To try to impress you, to try to wow you.
Oh, sorry, honey, but there's no need for us to try and impress you. You've all seen. Men don't need you. They want you, but don't need you.
There it is.
Contrary to what we're around trying to convince each other of.
Just like he said, we're independent and we need no woman. Now we want you, but we don't need you. Okay? You know what I'm saying?
Because, you know, women know better than men how men think and feel. Men can do just fine without women in their lives. In fact, they do day after day by the millions. We can feed ourselves. We can do our own laundry. We can earn our own money. We can do all the things that most of you think we are completely and utterly incapable of doing. And not only can we do it, more often than not, we can do it better than you. And men know that, which has created a seismic shift in the dating scene, one that women still aren't ready to accept. And what is that shift? That the shoe is now on the other foot. It's on
Bingo.
you to wow us. It's on you to impress us. It's on you to prove yourselves worthy of our interest. Hence, that first coffee date. There's your opportunity to do so. An opportunity most women fail because, well, in their minds, it's not good enough, which is a signal to men that she's not good enough.
So when you go on a coffee date, you need to be aware that the man is not sure about you.
Yep.
He's going to be evaluating to see if you're worth him spending more on you.
You're close, but no cigar. He's not assessing to see if you're worth spending more money on. He's assessing you to see if you're worthy of pursuing a relationship with.
Facts.
Two entirely different things to men. Though, let's be honest, for women, as I said earlier, it's all about the money. It's strictly a business
It
transaction.
really is.
Which is why she's thinking this way. It's why she has the mindset that it's all about how much money he's going to spend.
And remember what he's saying. It's all about the money. Now, again, it's not necessarily, we're not bashing them for it. That's the way women move. They got to make sure they're secure, but it's about the money. You need to be working on your bag and making sure that you're not going to let nobody knock you off mentally, regardless how she looks. It's about your bag, man. Once you get your money right, they'll be around, man. It's not everything else that you have going on with you, man. Women will put it to the side for the bag. I'm telling you, man. Let's get your money right.
And on her.
He's not that worried about impressing you either.
Again, you get it completely wrong. You're showing once again you have no idea how men think, because he is worried about impressing you. If, and this is the key thing, if he thinks you're worthy of him putting in the effort to impress you, which again doesn't require a planned out expensive date. Coffee date more than suffices to determine that.
So make your choice. You decide if you want to go there and prove to this guy that you are worthy of a better date, or if you're okay with him buying you a cup of coffee so he can decide how he feels about you.
I actually agree with her. It is on the woman to make that decision, but I'd put it a little differently, because the choice comes down to one of two things. Are you so self-absorbed, so narcissistic, so entitled that you think a man needs to go all out and spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on you to woo you on the first date before either one of you is determined if you're compatible? Or you can step back, realize that all you need to do is get together for an hour over a cup of coffee to make that same determination, because that's what it comes down to. Sadly, most of today's modern women are making the former choice, which is why men are walking away and done with them, why they're not asking you out, and certainly why they're not taking you out on expensive first dates. Because any woman that has that expectation is showing she's high maintenance and low value. She's never going to be in it for anything more than the money. And if men are going to spend that kind of money, trust me, ladies, there's other ways they can spend it that'll make them a lot happier, a lot healthier, and not have to put up with all the drama. That's the reality, ladies, and it's why dating has changed, which means you can either double down like you all are doing, or go about making some changes, taking some ownership, some accountability and responsibility, and accepting that men are worthy, that they aren't something for you to pillage for your amusement, that you need to bring something to the table just as much as they do. Because contrary to what you believe, this ain't all that.
You guys make sure you subscribe to Men Need to Be Heard. It's a dope channel. Also follow him on TikTok. He definitely be going in. Now, do you agree? You disagree? Let's chop it up in the comments. I've also noticed an intake or intick in women that are going off on me in the comments. I appreciate the energy, and the engagement. So continue to do what makes you feel better. All right, let's keep it trucking. I got another video. I think I do.
But if I just happen to have the nerve to agree with the woman that says she's average, then I'm Satan. I think that's interesting.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we're going to explore why some women don't understand why men don't want them. We'll also discuss women's respect toward men and how many say they can't find a good man. Could it be they're looking in the wrong places or that the good ones are already taken? If you enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up and
That's right.
subscribe to
Hit
the
that like
channel.
button and subscribe,
Join the
y'all.
movement and add your 2 cents. It's the only contribution we ask for, brother. Share your experiences in the comments to guide other men.
Absolutely. And make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button, y'all.
Without further ado, let's get started.
If a woman needs love, a man needs respect. Right. But it's almost easy for us to say, well, he can get my respect when he earns it. Wow. Right. Can you imagine if your husband said she can have my love when she earns it? Just as much as women need love, your husband needs respect. Right. Not only was he created to be able to need this, to receive it, he was built that way. He's going to be drawn to the places where he actually does receive it. That's right. Whether it's his workplace, you know, some of us are like, why is he always out of the house? Why doesn't he like to be at home? Why does he always feel so grumpy or look so grumpy when he's at home? But then for some reason, when we're out with his friends or when he's at work, he's thriving there. You see so much joy in him. It's because he's receiving respect. He's going to find respect in the relationships where he receives it. And if that's the case, we've got to figure out a way to understand that there is a true need for a man to be able to receive respect. That's good.
Let me explain why this happens. Once, an uncle of mine, watching how I interacted with my girlfriend back in the day, told me a phrase that stuck with me. Nephew, learn to show weakness in your needs and strength in your boundaries. And there's the key, my friends. Nowadays, many men are strong in their needs but weak in their boundaries. First, let's talk about those boundaries. When you're in a serious relationship with a woman, it's essential to discuss your red lines, those things you won't tolerate even in your wildest dreams. It could be that you don't allow disrespect like her raising her voice at you, those girls' trips that seem straight out of a movie, male friends who might have other intentions, not answering.
Gentlemen, I got a lovely young woman asking a question that many women have. Let's hear what it is.
Why do men have this irrational fear that women are going to use them for money that they don't have?
Oh, the dripping condescension. Did you hear it? Irrational fear. It's irrational to worry that you might lose everything if you get involved in a relationship with a woman. I mean, apparently no guy has ever lost anything after a relationship with a woman has ended, because the only way that fear would be irrational would be if indeed that statement were true. Yet we all know it's not. I mean, I myself lost everything in a divorce, and I've had many friends who've lost everything in divorce. And oh, by the way, those other millions of men that have gone through divorce, guess what? They've lost everything too, which means her claim that men's fear is irrational is, well, yep, you guessed it, irrational. But let's see what else she has to say.
Like, sir, you have lawn chairs in your living room. You are safe.
You know, I laugh every time I hear women make this claim. They actually believe that all single men, really all of them, have lawn chairs as their furniture, which is laughable at best. But here's the point that she doesn't want to hear. It's not about where you're at now. It's where you're going to be in the future. Because let's say you're a young couple in your early 20s. You decide to get married. Yeah, at the time you might be broke or have very little. That's the way almost all of us started out. But over time you build things up. You grow a family, you buy a house, you get a nice car, you start building your retirement, and you start enjoying life. And then she gets bored. She decides that, well, she can do better. Chad down the street, he's going to be interested in her. So she files for divorce. Suddenly, everything you've accumulated over the past few years is right out the window, because she's going to get the house, she's going to get the nice car, she's going to get the kids, and oh yeah, a nice portion of his income for the next few years, leaving him so broke that he ends up, wait for it, with lawn chairs as his furniture. Funny how that is. She doesn't lose anything. All that wealth gets
in this game. You gotta have that dog in you.
Made in America.